Lightworkers Unite is a podcast and social show hosted by intuitive women, lightworkers, and most importantly, friends, Mayume and Manjeet. Welcome to our podcast, Lightworkers Unite, where we believe there is a lightworker within all of us.
Whether you are a medium, an educator, or a nuclear medicine technologist, there is a lightworker within you, and we have work to do.
This is a safe and sacred place where lightworkers connect, grow, and learn.
And share our light with the world. It's
Sound right.
not right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah,
now that you're hooked up to
technical.
the mic, we are technically sound. That took fucking whopping 15 minutes. So
I
that's amazing.
know. It really did. And now I'm having this weird ringing in my left ear. There's something going on. It's spirit. That feels like that is spirit. Because I was talking about the altar, how it
Yes.
was completely smashed and fallen apart and sage everywhere when I got home from our retreat, and things had broken, my bowl and my crystal. It was like earlier, like you said, someone had taken a sledgehammer to it, and it's
Yeah.
all slit. And I haven't touched it. I haven't put it back together the way I want to, just because I feel a little repelled by the whole thing. I'm just a little put off by it, and I use this weekend to just get centered. I don't start readings until tomorrow, so I haven't put it together yet. I was going to do that after we podcast.
Yeah.
But I feel so
Well,
weird.
and it probably, and this is just my feeling, it's probably because you are anew. We were on retreat all last week. And like, I know we have both like really shifted. Like, there's a lot of energy and healing. I think I cried my weight in tears this week. And I
Right.
wonder if, like, spirit was like, no, this isn't right anymore. Like, it's like your altar needs to be just reconfigured because you are new, right? We're new now. We're
Yeah.
different a little, maybe.
Yeah. A lot. Yes.
But that,
That's so. I mean, you're absolutely right. I felt like that. And that's what something I was saying earlier is that I felt like my energy, my frequency, I was vibrating at a very high frequency and I wanted to stay there. We
yes, we
just can't.
did.
Sometimes we have to go
Mm,
back and forth. But when I came home, it was there. But the next day was not, and just shit was hitting the fan everywhere. And
you mean
I,
when you got back?
yeah, like
Okay.
Saturday or Friday, whatever. We got back Thursday night, right? I don't even remember. Friday was Mandy's birthday. So it was
Yeah.
like this weekend. It has been just yuck.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
okay. Yeah. But it
And
is hard, isn't it, to come back from such a high vibe and then back to reality? It's just like, what the density here,
well,
right? Compared to where
yes,
we
the
were. Eh,
density, and I didn't realize that my home was at a low vibe, or at least the energies at the time or at this time has created a low vibe, I guess is what you could say. That's what I'm feeling.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think my mother vibrates at a low vibration no matter what right now of where she's at
Mhm.
and her dementia and her
Yeah.
confusion that feels. But, I got some anger with partnership and frustration. Then we got Dana being sick and, blah,
Oh,
blah, blah.
yes.
So I struggled, and that was my main concern too, too.
Oh,
Was
I
like, okay, I need
know.
to
I know.
maintain this high vibe. How do I blend it? How do I maintain it? How do I keep up here if I'm feeling pulled, And then
Yeah.
it's
I
kind of
think
like,
that's a very, yeah. She's throwing up her middle finger everywhere
yeah.
just for our our listener. She's like, and then
Uh,
I come home and no,
yeah.
I think that's a really valid concern and reality for a lot of light workers is we do this work and we feel refreshed, we feel rebirthed, right? We feel anew, especially on this retreat, which we're going to talk about a little bit more. It was like, for me, life changing. It was like
Yes.
nothing I've ever done before, and it was really high vibes. So coming back, it's like this is not that same energy. We're in a
Mm-mm.
different country, even, right? Where
Yeah.
things are people are waiting on us. and it really is, it's finding that balance between these two huge shifts within a matter of 24 hours. So
Yeah.
I agree, it definitely was like a shock to the system, and I was very tired. Like I found that I was sleeping, it was only 2 hours ahead, right? Tulum, Mexico is where we
That's
were,
it. Yep. Only two
but I
hours.
was, yeah, I was
Same.
exhausted.
I
Yeah.
was too, Manjeet.
I'd be
I
curious
was
to hear
too.
about the other women if they have been experiencing that too.
Any fatigue? Well, just because of all the work that we did. I mean, let's
Yeah.
talk about that because I want our listeners to learn more about what we did in the retreat. We
Yes.
could fly
Yes.
through, we could do it day by day, or we could just throw out what was the most impactful to each of us. I was sharing it with my girlfriend Julie. We were Zooming yesterday. She lives in London and she was like, "Tell me everything." And so I said, "Okay." I said, "The best way to tell you everything and to keep on track was to go day by day." So I pulled out
Yeah.
the itinerary and I was like, "Okay, day
Yeah.
one, the intention was," and then I just went through and I said, "Then we did this and then we did that and here's what happened." And it was great.
Yeah.
What Chelsea does, Chelsea is the one who organizes Radiate Retreat. What she does is impeccable. I
Yeah.
appreciate deeply her intention behind it and the way she organized the experiences in the order that she did. I
Yes.
know she said she sat with it, intuitively and getting the information, which is how I think everyone should do everything, right? Like sit with it for a little bit,
Yeah.
meditate and check in. So I am just so grateful for these experiences and in the order that she laid them out for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I think and I just love, she's just like this young, beautiful light worker who just really wants to gather women and provide a space for whatever wants to happen, whether it's profound healing, whether it's connection. I love that all the participants, one of the things that I really loved is just right from the beginning is she kind of sets an intention or brings us a word. So as we come off the plane, it's a 2 hour ride out of Cancun to Tulum, and we get into our rooms, and our rooms have their own name. And so this is at the Holistica Resort in Tulum is where we stayed,
Hmm.
which was absolutely gorgeous. Um, and our room was light.
I know. So perfect for us light
I was like,
workers.
I love it. So we walk into this beautiful room that says light, right? And we go onto our beds because we were roommates, Mayume and I. And there was all of this, we each had a word that was given to us. And so I thought that was really, really cool because
Because
my
ours
word,
were, yeah. What, say that again?
my, my word was creativity.
Yes.
And
And
Mayum's word,
was balance. And so we were just like, what? And we looked at each other, we started laughing. We're like, do you think our energies got like confused or mixed up? And she
yeah,
thought this and
yeah,
that. But then we really thought about it. She's actually uh, so accurate and right on point,
yes.
where I don't actually need more creativity in my life. I keep it. I feel like I've maybe mastered it. I don't know if it's mastered it. What do you ever really master? But I feel like I'm pretty good with creativity in my life. However, balance is so needed for me right now with taking care of my
Mm,
mother who has dementia and my business working from home since the pandemic. And it's just, there's so much there that resonates with me. And then, of course, your
yeah.
business name, Infinite Balance Life Coaching. My guided gatherings tagline is igniting creativity and connections with spirit. So we're swapping. Even the
And
colors. My
so,
colors are like yellow, and you got the yellow candle
yes.
and the yellow bracelet, and I got the white, for,
Yeah, it was
well,
uncanny. It was just so like we actually thought, oh, I think she messed up. Like I think Chelsea actually messed up. Like
yeah,
and then as we sat with it, we were like, oh my gosh, she didn't. She was, and it was brilliant. It
it
was
was
just brilliant the
brilliant.
way she did it. Because it was like
Yes.
we're like, part of each other. So we're so connected that to kind of mirror each
Totally.
other with
Yeah,
what we're
it
doing. And
completely makes sense. Completely
yeah,
resonates. I think Spirit was having a little fun when he or she, why did I say he? When Spirit put that in her mind, right? When
yeah,
she's channeling and sitting with it, I
totally.
it
Yeah,
was like, hell, let's see what the ladies think of this and just swapped it.
yeah.
So, but I honor it. I'm gonna use it
Oh
for
yeah. No,
until I've mastered it, until I feel like I'm
and
in
I needed
balance.
it. I needed that word because I am starting to, we've talked about this in the last episode where we're both writing books, but I've been very like, there's been fear for me around that, around really expressing myself and in that venue. And so to have that word come forward like that was just like, okay, almost like permission, right? It felt like, okay, it's time for me to maybe embrace this part of me that wants to be creative, wants to birth something new, create
Yeah.
something different, right? And I just, it was just like permission for me. It felt so cool. And we shared that with Chelsea because um it was just really neat. I thought that was just so profound. And it's like, for you, it was like, oh shit, maybe I really do need balance. Maybe that is the thing that I'm really wanting
Yes.
to juggle all of these beautiful pieces of my life that require me to stay in that beautiful yin yang energy.
Yeah. Oh, and I feel completely out of
Yeah.
balance since I've gotten back, too. Right? I
Mm,
mean, my altar's tipped over. And so I
yes.
just feel like, oh my gosh, like things are out of whack right now for me. So I
Mm,
need to really bring in that word, sit with that word, and ask Spirit to help me and my
mm.
guides to help me get back into balance. And what does that mean for me? What does that look like for me? So I am very appreciative to Chelsea for and what she did by giving us this word, whether it was for the week together. I feel like it's for however long we need it, right? It's to
Yeah,
carry on past the retreat. So it's a gift that keeps
absolutely.
going to
Until
something to
next
work
year
on
when we go back and then we
and
get a
get a
new
new
word from
word.
Chelsea.
Yes,
That was my
yes.
intention. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to come back here every year. The work that we did and the community and the sisterhood and
Hmm.
the connection, the food, I mean, everything about it was just so amazing. And if there are light workers out there that are looking for that, looking for a safe place to really just be in their skin and 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 really heal, I know, or experience something new even. um
Hmm.
I think some women come to these retreats and they have a lot of shit to process, right? And then some women, maybe they don't, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to get great value out of this.
Absolutely.
So
And whether
I
you
just,
think that you don't need healing, maybe you find
right.
out that you do.
Yeah.
Or in my case, I thought I needed healing in one area of my life, but come to find out I didn't. It was somewhere else.
Mm,
And
yes.
so that was really a gift because I really do feel like, and even though I do in my heart feel like I've healed with my father's murder, with the forgiveness of his murder, and just overall accepting his death the way it was, and not having him here, and it's been many, many years, but it affected me for so long that I thought,
Yeah.
oh gosh, maybe there's still remnants, maybe there's still more. But it really wasn't that. I really felt like I was being told, no, you're good here. There was other things that were coming up
Yes.
for me
Yes.
that I was like, aha, okay, that's what I'm meant to work on. So why don't we
Yeah.
tell everyone what did we do at the retreat,
Okay.
Manjeet? Like what did
So
we
day one,
do? Day one.
we get our word. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna embrace the creativity within myself, and Mayum's embracing the balance within herself. So that's like literally, I think, coming into it with this really powerful thing. And then day one, we went to the ocean and went into a yurt, and we had a beautiful woman walk us through some powerful breath work. Yeah.
Yes. And by
Um,
the way, Chelsea gave each day of the retreat an intention, a word. So
Yes.
the day
Yes.
one, the intention word was intention. And so I
Mm,
really appreciated that. In her little itinerary, she says, today's intention is intention. Try to focus on what your purpose was coming on this trip. Meditate on it, sit with it, and visualize how it would feel if that purpose came to be. We would also like you to pay attention to your surroundings and notice how you respond to them, making sure that it is aligned with your intention. And I just
mm,
love these little things that she added to us, not just the experiences
yeah.
and being together, but her itineraries filled with beautiful information. So yeah,
Yeah.
so the day that
Yeah.
we went to the beach and did the breath work ceremony,
How was
that
that for
word,
you? That experience?
I loved that
Did you?
experience. That was, well, I'd never done breath work quite like that and for that
Me
long,
neither.
right?
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah.
deep, and a lot of it was bypassing some of the, I call it the gap or the sweet space in between inhale and exhale. Like we are really kind of breathing quickly and in and out and
Mm,
in our diaphragm
mm,
and our belly, and lots of thing for me, a lot of things came into my head, into my meditative space. Like the changing
yeah.
of my guides happened during this trip, and it started
Yes.
with that ceremony.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
serpent that came before me and started dancing. I don't know if you remember, I shared that. I had this
Yeah.
serpent, or
Yeah.
yeah, kind of like a do 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 do.
Yeah.
That little, like from the cartoons. It was like doing this, and it was swaying
Wow.
back and forth. So I was watching it, and then behind the serpent came all these other serpents, and when they were all moving in unison, they were all facing me, but I felt like I was facing them, guiding them as they were guiding me. It was a weird thing. I don't even know how to explain it.
Mm, I love that.
It was
Yeah.
really cool. The serpents too. Remember the serpent that came out of my head too, with
Yeah,
Archangel
totally.
Raphael.
That's that dream
Yeah,
sequence. That's a episode, a couple episodes back. If you haven't heard that one, it's a dream analysis about this crazy dream.
crazy ass dream.
It was so
And I needed help. I'm
freaky.
like, what is happening to me? Do I have brain
Oh, it was awesome.
cancer? Like, what is happening?
God,
So
no. Oh my
serpents.
gosh. Yeah.
Anyway,
And it was so cool
um,
because like serpents are transformation. They're all about change and
shedding,
shedding your skin
shedding
and
skin.
moving, growing and moving,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was amazing. I loved it too. I felt like I'd never done really any breath work other than like what I do in yoga,
Hmm.
and which is really profound and very helpful. But this I felt like tingly, like my whole face after the first little while, I felt like they were like like all tingles all down my face and neck and down my arms. And
Mm,
then it kind of moved all the way down into my pelvis and all the way down my legs just because and I actually felt like somebody was like over me, like with a brush or feather or something, because it was so real, so visceral, like a physical
hmm.
manifestation of just the breath work. So it was very fascinating. And I definitely felt um I felt different after that. I felt and I cried a
Yeah.
lot in that ceremony.
And
I
you weren't the
just
only one. There was
yeah,
many
yeah,
that our eyes are closed, but you can hear. And that is something that they encouraged, was to allow, if you
yeah,
needed to cry,
yeah.
if you needed to scream, yell, moan, whatever it is. There was many of the women, yes, were making lots of sounds. Yeah.
Yeah. And some women were actually in pain and even, and that was
Yes.
really interesting too, like because it was just like I think we hold our bodies with such vigor, we know it was so tense and we kind of shut ourselves. I know I've experienced that. Like I'm kind of out of my body or a lot of the time, or I'm not really like honoring her in my day-to-day life. And so having this time to just breathe into every tissue, breathe into every organ, breathe into all the fascia, like everything, just relaxing. Um, my back, my low back started to feel a little bit twingy. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
mine
like
too.
I was finally starting to like let her breathe my
Yeah.
body. So it was really amazing to see other women, experience actual physical And this isn't meant to deter anybody from it. It was just a profound relaxation and release, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
different. Everyone's going to react differently to it. So it was just so beautiful and magnificent. I just felt it was really cool.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
Loved it.
I need to take a deep breath now.
Okay. Yeah, it was a beautiful experience. And then we had that lovely lunch, right? Wait, did we
Mhm.
swim and then have lunch? No, we had lunch. And then
Yeah.
we went swimming after the breath work, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
she organizes everything. So that's so nice because after you do these deep, healing sessions, the food and everything is all meant to be really nourishing and sustaining and clean, really good food. So that was really
Mm-hmm.
fun. Yeah. And so what do you
Yeah.
think? Day two. What happened day two?
Day two was if I'm not mistaken, was the cenote, right? Yeah. We got into
Oh,
the van
yes.
first thing in the morning. And by the way, the word of the day for the breath work was awareness. And then
Oh, yeah. Thank
the
you. Yeah.
day three was is healing. So that was cool. And
Mm.
we got into the van with Danny, who was our driver for the whole week. And then we
Yay.
went deep, deep into the jungle in this very bumpy dirt road, very slowly for like 45 minutes. We're like
Yeah.
deep in the other direction of the ocean, deep into I'm like, where the F are we going? And then
Mm.
all of a sudden we pull up and it was like, oh, this enormous, beautiful home that was all
Yeah.
open outdoor spaces. It was unbelievable. And
Gorgeous.
that's
Just
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Private property, and they have their private cenote, which is spelled Cenote, pronounced cenote. I don't know what it actually stands for. I just know that in Tulum you have underground rivers in Tulum, and I'm sure some of you might know about these and some others may not, because I didn't know anything about them until this retreat. And these are
Yeah, me neither.
sacred waters for the Mayans, who once lived on this land. And if I'm not mistaken, we were even concerned about where we were going to be, if it was a place of where they sacrificed some people in
Yeah.
these waters.
Yeah.
But that's a different sacred ground that's not anywhere where we were, and I definitely believe it's not, because there's public cenotes as well that anyone can come and swim in those. They're
Yes.
like these
Yeah.
caves with this beautiful, beautiful, clear, pure water. You
Yeah.
could
Super
drink it.
cleansing.
So
Yeah.
so
It was
cleansing.
so beautiful. Yeah. And it was cool because after we went to the beautiful house, we went down into this kind of this wooden like platform where we had some profound Reiki done on all of us.
Yeah.
So that was like a good hour and a half with this beautiful healer named Anik, who is just like our
A
soul sister
goddess.
now. She's
I
a
know.
goddess. Yeah, she is
Yes.
amazing. Very
Yes.
strong.
Oh, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Anik.
Happy birthday, gorgeous lady.
Yes.
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 Yeah, I think we all just really connected, obviously with her. She was a really powerful person. And I think, what I really loved about that was afterwards. Um, I know I did a lot of crying in that one too. Holy shit. I don't know. It was just a lot of breaking down some shit. I don't know, a lot of fear.
Yeah.
That's the big thing for me. I felt like I had some fear, a lot of like residual stuff, and that just needed to come out, you know. But after we did our healing, then we went into the water to swim out. And I was really nervous about going into the water because I don't really like going into deep water. I mean, I'm a
But
decent
you,
swimmer, but I just was nervous.
but you noticed that
It's
it wasn't deep at all. I mean,
it
parts
was
of it were
it,
deep,
you
but
yeah,
not like the middle of the ocean deep. Do you know what I'm saying?
no.
It's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, it just was awesome.
and you
It
could
wasn't.
see the bottom. It was so clear.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's what
loved
she
it.
said. It can be deceiving because you can see actually the bottom, and we're not used to that. So you think you should be able to like touch the bottom, but you can't. So it was,
Yeah.
it was a bit of a mind screw, but it was for me. But it was awesome. I loved it, and it was cool because it was freezing. And I remember her saying, Chelsea said, um, and Anik, they said, ask permission,
Yes,
and
we
that
all
will
had
make
to
it better.
ask. We had to ask
And as
permission to
soon
enter.
as I did that, it was like I just went right in and it was no problem. It was,
Yeah,
and it was like all the healing, you just could wash it away in the water. It was
that's right.
unbelievable.
It
That
was
was just
wonderful.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I was hoping he
Yeah.
would take my cellulite with it. I could leave that behind, because it was so cleansing and pure. And you're like, oh, here, just heal my body, please. I loved that
Mm,
swim, and I wish it was longer. I wish that we could have
mm,
spent more time in the water. I really do.
yes.
It was amazing.
Mm,
And then it
yeah.
was pouring. There was a lightning storm outside, pouring down rain when we got out. And then we were supplied this beautiful woman named Danny who provided this gorgeous, healthy meal for us. Very authentic meal. So we ate out in the outdoor space. It's all open in this lovely home. And yeah, and then it was
So
kind of sad to
beautiful.
leave. Like after dinner
Yeah.
or after lunch, sorry, I wanted to go back down into the cenote.
Hmm.
It was their own private cenote. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
To have
Yeah,
that
and I
to
think that's
yourself?
part of the gift of like going on a retreat like that, right? Like actually having somebody facilitate all of that for
Yes.
you. That's where I think Chelsea really shines and in her, in her retreat, because you
Yeah.
just felt like so honored, so honored to just be there. Yeah, that was day 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Well, actually, it was our day 3, but day 2 of the retreat.
Okay.
We got
Yeah.
there a day
That's
early.
what I thought.
So it was
Yeah.
day 2 of that. And that was that night we got to have dinner in the jungle, where again,
Mm,
she booked this entire space for just us. So it was
yeah.
privately ours, way out in the
Yeah.
jungle. Again, another storm, rain on us. That was really cool, actually.
Yeah,
It's
it was
really
awesome.
refreshing. Doesn't last. But that was a great time. We were all
Yeah.
laughing, twerking, drinking. That's when the
Oh,
tequila shots started that
yeah.
night, I
Oh
believe,
gosh,
right?
that's
Yeah.
right. Yes,
Hmm.
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
The tequila
Yeah.
started flowing. I know that it was just such an awesome time to be with sisters,
Yeah.
just like-minded women that are just really interested in holding space for each other. That is literally how the entire weekend felt for me. It was
Yeah.
like,
Same.
you want to cry, you want to laugh, you want to scream, we're there for it. We're there for it. Like I'm in it. I'm in it to win it the whole time.
Right. I agree.
And
It
so the
was
next day,
beautiful.
so 3, we're in
So
day
day
3 now.
3, healing. Oh, sorry. Day 3 is healing. So that was the cenote. Sorry. Now day 4. Sorry. Day 3 was the cenote. Day 4 was the where we went to the Mayan clay spa and bathhouse, and
Oh,
we had the
snap.
cacao
Mhm.
ceremony with the beautiful and powerful shaman Amaya,
Oh
who
my
was like
gosh.
crazy, crazy shit,
Crazy. Yeah, she
crazy shit.
was unbelievable. And cacao, right? That ceremony was so beautiful. And if for those of you who don't know, it is a natural plant that it grows there, and she makes her own. I'm holding a bowl right now. You can see it.
Yeah, with your hands. I'm like, oh, do you have something there?
She's like looking at me like, I'm holding this little bowl, like, because it was in a little coconut shell,
Shell
right?
that we got to
Um,
share was awesome.
yeah, and she makes her own. I guess cacao can be different, people make it differently. So in this ceremony, she poured a little, and it's meant to really open up your pineal gland, which is where our psychic center is, our third eye.
Our
And
third
so
eye.
you have this ceremony with the cacao, and then we lay down, and then she, as the shaman, will go around and kind of unlock blocked energies, or whatever she is feeling inclined to remove or do. And it was so amazing.
Yeah,
She
she
was
was
just
so,
a
oh my God,
powerhouse.
powerful. So
Mm.
powerful. Really loved that very much. And I'm looking at this day. It was jam packed because we
Oh
went
yeah.
there, had that ceremony, and then we did
Hmm.
the whole. spa with all of us ladies, just so you know, we were all running around naked because you're not supposed to
Uh-huh.
have any clothes on. So they have, we're doing massages. They have us in a circuit where we're all taking turns, and these beautiful little Asian women are rubbing and scrubbing our bodies like it's like it's nothing,
And just
splashing water
slathering
on
us with this
us.
Mayan clay. Like
Oh my
we
God, we
look
look like
like
yellow
aliens.
avatars. Oh yeah,
I was
we
like,
did.
holy shit. We totally transformed into like little brown clay aliens. Naked aliens, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, yes. It was something I'll
Oh,
never
it's
forget as long as I
so,
live. Like, look, we're
oh
just
my
sitting there like,
gosh.
yep, here we are.
Here we are.
And they're just smothering it on us. Yeah, hair. Oh, head to toe in that yellow clay. But I mean,
Oh,
amazing, right? Our skin and then
oh,
the sea
so
salt
amazing.
with the rosemary and the coconut oil. Like you can make that at home.
Oh,
Scrubbing
it was
all the dead
nuts. Yeah.
skin off our body and splashing with buckets of hot water.
Oh my gosh. It was
It's
like
so funny.
nothing.
Turn around.
But
Turn around.
No, but it was interesting because I felt like, at first I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go naked. I'll just leave my bottoms on. Like I'm fine to take my big top
That's
and
what I,
my
right. Me
bikini
too.
off. Right. And we both were kind of talking about this feeling of like just letting it all hang out, like
All
letting
hang
our
out.
beautiful sovereign bodies, our beautiful, I mean, we created life from this body. It was just like, fuck it. We're doing it. We just pulled
Yeah,
down our bathing suits, and it was just so liberating. I know
it was.
that
Every single
alone
one of
was
us.
so awesome.
Every single one of us did it. God
Yeah,
bless it. I
yeah.
mean, well, it was almost to the point where it would have been hard to be the one who didn't, because everyone was just
Mhm.
free, and every body is different in shapes and sizes, so it doesn't matter.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And at this point, we are so connected and bonded with one another. We are supporting. No one's gonna point
Oh
a finger
yeah.
and go, "Oh my God," I mean, we're not
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful way to
Yeah.
really bond with our sisters, just to be that way. And it was amazing. The whole
It
experience
was
was
so,
amazing.
yeah, so amazing. That day was hilarious. Yeah.
It
And then
was.
so we did that. And then what was that evening? Was that a
The Temazcal.
look at I think thought that was the next day. No?
Nope, all day. Day 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we came back from that around 3 p.m. and we
Wow.
that's the day we got to rest and kind of take a nap, remember, and just kind of chill out.
Mm,
And then we met and we went in the dark back down to the
mhm.
beach to it's called Ecal is the resort. And we had the Temazcal ceremony. So it's Temazcal. Temazcal, I think it's how it's pronounced. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But we did that, and I had never heard of this. I have never done it before. It was a very unique experience for me. And I'm glad that I'm going to, this not to scare people, but I'm glad that I stayed inside because there was times where your mind can really play with you, where
Yeah.
you're like,
Well,
get
let's
me
tell them
out.
what
Okay,
we're
let's don't,
talking
because
about. Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Because you're we're
I'm going all the way in. I'm already inside. Okay,
yeah.
you go ahead.
Oh, well, it's kind of like a yurt, right? It felt like a really low dome, like a
Like a dome,
low
yes.
dome kind of covered area,
Yes.
with blankets and such. And inside in the very center is this little cutout area or dugout area, I should say, because it's all on the sand on the beach. And that's where you put in the shaman will put in hot coals that are blessed, each one, and then water is poured over the coals, and you're inside of it for about 2 hours.
It's like a
So
sweat lodge. That's I was trying to
it's
think of
like a
like what are
sweat
they
lodge.
like a sweat
Yes,
lodge.
yes. So you're basically dripping in sweat while the shaman is walking you through, this process. 4 of them, yeah. And I guess they're from what I was gathering from Jenna, who's another beautiful soul who was at the retreat with us, who's done multiple journeys like this, and Chelsea, the shaman can kind of change how they want to orchestrate, that whole
Yes.
ceremony. So the one we had, she broke it up into 4 different sections based on the um, uh, elements, right? Fire, wind, earth, and and air, and also by age. So we were kind of reliving, different parts of our life in the womb,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right? It was kind of recreating us in the womb. And then our was like our young child self, where we embraced our inner child, you know.
Yeah.
And then we had this other stage where we were in our teens, and that
Or
one was really
adolescence.
hard.
That one was really hard and super hot. And I kept
So hot.
thinking, oh, that one was so hot, so much hotter than the first one. The first one, I was like, okay, okay, I can do this. The second one, and maybe it has to do with the adolescent age. I don't know. I
Yeah.
struggled with that one. It was so hot, hard to breathe. That's where my mind starts to, this is where people can have like a little anxiety. I was starting to think,
Hmm.
feeling claustrophobic, like I need fresh
Yeah.
air, I can't breathe, but it's all in your head, it's all in your mind. So that's the one I started to sway. I had to rock back and forth and
Mm.
really listen to the music. So that was helpful when they sing and they beat the drum. That helps
Hmm.
me to kind of stay focused. And then after
Yeah.
getting through that one, the next two to me felt wonderful. Like no
Yeah.
problem. I could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
And
really intense, so
mhm,
beautiful and cathartic, and then you crawl out of it, like
yeah,
you're crawling out of your mother's womb, right? Like you're
yeah.
reborn. So this Tezcamal, this whole ceremony that's beautifully guided and orchestrated by this shaman, it's just such a unique experience for everybody. And I'd never done that before, but I can't
I'd
wait to
never,
go
yeah.
next year and do it again.
I want to
What?
do it again. I know. I do too. And so we come
That
out,
was
we're all
awesome.
dripping sweat, and we drink some water, and then we get to walk to the beach and jump in the ocean, and the stars were out. It was so
Mm,
magical to be in that water that time with all of you. So,
yeah. And
yeah,
it was a lightning storm, like you in the distance, like you could see
yeah,
lightning in the
yeah.
background, like way in the distance. It was just lighting up the sky. I just again sobbed. Like it's just the way I process. And I
Yeah.
just sat in this water, and just like the tears were just like just flowing into the ocean. I just
Hmm.
felt like this is where I'm meant to be. This is really and I just am so grateful for that experience. This
Me
this week
too.
was
Me
like
too.
nothing I've ever done. And I
It
feel
was
I feel
great.
different. I feel
I
shifted.
know.
Yeah.
Same, same. And we still have one more day after all of that. So we
Oh
still have one
shit.
more
That's
day.
right. Look at me. I'm
Uh,
like, I don't
the
even know.
the last day, the way Chelsea organized it to wrap it all up, is well, we had a breakfast and then we had our own like goddess photo shoot is what I want to call it. That's what I feel like
Yeah.
it. And it was ran by Emily, who is the company and owner of Alchemy, and she makes these beautiful dresses, handmade dresses that are to fit, all sizes and shapes, and they're flowy and light, so perfect for
Mm,
Tulum. I'm going to say, I mean,
yeah.
walking around in Tulum with that, especially in the jungle that we were at. And this was a very lovely way to wrap it up with all of us after spending these
Yes.
days together and having these experiences and this healing together, where we went up to a rooftop, we sat in a circle, and we brought journals and pens, and she had us exchange our journals. Like, we in a circle, we would give our journal to the left, and that person would write a little something in your journal about you, about how they felt about you, what they saw something about you, or if you impacted them, or whatever it was that you wanted to write about that person. So we continued to do that. You just moved, shimmied the journal around the circle until yours came back to you, and then
Yeah.
we get to read that later, which was really, really nice and sweet. I thought that was a great way
Oh,
for all of
yeah.
us to connect individually that way, and a little takeaway for
Yes.
each of us. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we got to
Yeah.
walk around the jungle and dance to music and pose, and she took pictures of us, and we had glitter
Yeah.
all over,
Oh my
all over us.
gosh. It
The
was
glitter. I
hilarious.
still, I've taken like 4 showers since then, and I still can't get some off
Oh,
of
yeah. Yeah,
my chest.
totally. Yeah.
I love it
I thought
though.
it was really interesting because I had a lot of glitter on my left breast, which is where I had my breast cancer. And
Mm.
it was weird because it was nowhere else, but like it was like it had all kind of accumulated like on that side, all these like
Oh,
little remnants.
interesting.
I know it was like this last
That's
little
beautiful.
blast of
Mm-hmm.
healing and glitter and love, right? But I just thought that was so hilarious. And she also introduced us to kava. We had
Oh,
a
sorry, I
kava,
forgot about that.
right? The
Yes, kava.
ceremony. Yeah.
I forgot about that,
Yeah.
which
I
I
loved it. We
liked.
loved it.
I
Yeah.
liked it a lot. Yeah.
Because we like red wine. It has those very similar properties of red wine, which is
Mm-hmm,
something I'd
mm-hmm.
never had before. I was like, man, it's like
Yeah.
that feeling without the ethanol, right? So
Yes.
there's no
Yes. She was
damage. But my
teaching us.
tongue kind of
Mhm.
went,
Mine was a
yours
little
too.
numb,
Okay.
tingly and numb,
Yeah.
which is fine, I suppose. I mean, I still
I
drink
know.
it.
I'm like,
I
okay.
still liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the
Yeah.
feel, and I
I
didn't
loved
realize it
it.
was going to make me feel that way. Like I was kind of sipping it, and then I was like, oh, I started to feel what it was doing. So yeah, I'll take more, please. Thank you. It was lovely.
Yes, yeah, that
It
was
was
lovely.
lovely.
Yeah. And Emily is
Yeah,
just a beautiful
beautiful
soul. Just
soul.
so it was just so like all of the healers that I feel like I had the privilege to like be with. Were just really divine and so beautiful. And I think that's a big part of holding and hosting a retreat that's really important is finding these beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't know where to find a shaman like that I could, trust, and I
Trust.
knew it. She just took care of all of that for us.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
we just went to these beautiful healers and, you know,
And locations
trusted
and
them.
restaurants. I mean, the bike
Yeah.
ride to the pizza rooftop, I mean, the pizza place rooftop
Hmm.
bar where we danced and had great pizza and fun. I mean, she really thought of everything. And then let's talk about the last
Hmm.
night in the tree house or the tree nest or whatever you want to call it. And where we had, and then we had the
Mm,
dinner on the
yes.
beach where we got to really wrap it up and stand up and say nice words about someone that impacted you or your experience here. I just really feel Chelsea thought of a lot of the
Yes.
flow, the way it
Yes.
flowed for us women
Yeah.
to allow us to
So
be.
how can people find her?
I understand Instagram's like the best place. It's radiate.retreat
Hmm.
is the her name, and then she's also on Facebook, so look up Radiate Retreat, but she does have it radiate dot retreat.
Dot. Yes, retreat. And it's, just reach out if you're interested. Any of this is interesting, check her out, like her stuff. She hosts
Yeah,
multiple different retreats in the Tulum area. And so I think the
her
next
next
one
one
that's
is,
coming up is
yes, I knew we were gonna
glamping.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, glamping. I was gonna say it's, yeah,
Yeah.
at ecal, they're at the resort
Yeah.
in these
So
beautiful yurts. So I wish I could go. I just got back. My
yeah.
husband would divorce me for
Yeah.
sure, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think I need time. I mean, I definitely like I could do it like once a year because I feel like I need to really process it and let it really like incubate. Now I'm saying that now, but by February I'm going to be like, "Where's your next retreat, Chelsea?"
Yeah,
You know, but it was, yeah, I cannot recommend this retreat more. I
I
think that
agree.
if you are a light worker and you're open and you are ready for just some profound healing and a connection with strong and beautiful women, um, it's hard to find these places, right? It's difficult, I think, to find these kinds of retreats, and so and trust them. I see lots of retreats online, but I don't know them, and so
Right, correct.
you're not going to
We
dump
didn't
that
know we didn't
money.
know what we were getting into. I just trusted my
No.
girlfriend Melissa, who said you got to go,
Yes.
and then I saw and she showed me a little summary of the itinerary, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in. So I had booked it that night. We
Yeah.
forgot about yoga and sound bath healing.
Oh,
Those were also, we
yes.
experienced
Oh,
those. It was beautiful, both beautiful.
yes.
So
Thank
if
you.
you're into
Yeah.
yoga, breath work, sound bath healing, the clay bath, the cacao ceremony, working with shamans, the
Reiki.
Reiki, swimming in the
Mm.
cenote, Temazcal. I mean,
Jeez.
and that's not, that's, I mean, that doesn't include the biking and the rooftop and all the restaurants and the dinners on the beach and the dinner in the jungle. And you know what I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the
It
swim at
was
night,
just
all of it.
nuts.
Wonderful. And
Oh,
if you want to, I've been
yes.
posting some reels. I'm starting to really play with reels. I started to do this when I went to Paris. It's really fun, but I'm trying to do more marketing. That is something that my intention is to do more marketing. It's just a lot. I might need to hire someone to help me. So if you want to help me, great. But I made two reels to help promote Radiate Retreat. I did one yesterday, one today, and I'm going to do one each day for each day of the retreat. The photos that just follow
Mhm.
a
I
little bit. So
love
if you
it.
want to see some photos, see some videos, you'll see where Manjeet and I were together. Lightworkers Unite, got to experience this retreat together.
Yes.
And our hope is that we too will be holding some beautiful retreats ourselves, some small ones and then some big ones. So be on the lookout for that.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it was so fun. So fun. So fun. So fun. I can't even explain. Like, and Melissa said it beautifully. She kept saying, can you even believe it? Like, can you believe we're right here? She said, kept saying that. It was like so amazing. She was the catalyst. She was
Yeah.
the one who really kind of got everybody rallied around coming. And I'm just so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for you, Mayum, because you invited me to come along. So I'm so
Yes.
thank
I've
you,
got
thank you.
I've got a bunch of others, I'm sure you do too, that are ready, who are saying, I couldn't make this one, I'm going to make the next one.
Yes,
So get
yeah.
ready, Chelsea. And we're going to also have Chelsea on here as a guest so she can
Oh yeah, yeah,
also speak about what she does, how she got here and into
yeah.
creating these retreats, her why and how she became a light worker and what is her plan.
Yes,
Like, where's she taking this? Where's she going? So
I
it's going to be
know.
really cool to have her on with us. So we look forward to
Yeah,
that
so
as
stay
well.
tuned.
Stay
Yes,
tuned.
yes.
So that
I
was it in a
love
nutshell,
it.
girl. We just wanted to talk about the retreat.
Yes.
We got big things
That
coming
was
up.
so beautiful. Yeah, it was so, so great. And thank you for letting me. It was so nice to just kind of recap it like that too, just to kind of remind myself. I was like, wow, that was day 3. Oh, wow. Really? We did both of those on one day?
We did both of those. Can you believe
What?
that?
Yeah, you
We
forget. It was
did.
just so,
Yeah,
so action packed, but also so healing and calm. Yeah, it was
very much.
amazing.
I felt
So
like there was
I,
enough downtime in between too. So even though it sounds like
yeah.
it's jam packed, everyone, there's enough downtime. The
Oh
way
yeah.
she organizes
Mm,
it is amazing. You don't feel
yeah.
rushed. I felt like the week was nice and long. I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it. So very blessed to have had
Thank
that
you.
experience and to experience that with you, my friend.
Oh, you too. Yes. And thank you for letting me be a part of that. And then having Lightworkers Unite there. And then for Chelsea, the beautiful, sweet
Yes,
Chelsea,
beautiful
for
Chelsea.
hosting us. Yes.
Radiate Retreat. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you. Love you. See you
Okay.
soon.
We'll see you soon, guys. Bye.
Mwah. Namaste.